Brandon, welcome back. Juco Jam, Season 4, Episode 12. March is almost amongst us. We are ending the regular season, the final stretch. Can you believe it?
We're 4 days from March. Well, actually, when this comes out, it's like two or something.
It's
I don't
close.
understand. That 28-day thing really throws me off every year. Doesn't matter. I've been around a while now. It's always been 28, sometimes 29.
It
Sleepy.
seems like it was just Jamboree season. And
It's
here
true.
we are.
True story.
Bracketology.
We're getting there.
We're getting there. All right, let's go to the week that was. We call it the rewind. We're going to recap some of last week's amazing games. We're going to start Thursday on the Whack Jack. New Mexico, big 82-80 winner over South Plains. We had five Texans in double figures. Leading the way, Big Lou off the bench, 12 points, 12 boards. Makai Bell, 16, 11, and 7 for the Texans. Five Thunderbirds in double figures. They've had a balanced attack all year long. Michael Mackey, 19 off the bench. Turnovers really the story of the game. Probably the difference in the Thunderbird win. New Mexico only 8 turnovers. Texans 20. Brandon react
Yeah.
82-80. New Mexico winner.
12 turnover differential in a 2-point game. I mean, that you can't win uh a close one when you're that big of a discrepancy like that. Tough playing at New Mexico, great environment out there. Just one of those things, man. Like the lights got a little bright and turned the ball over a little too much, and back to the drawing board.
Saturday, Walters State gets a big 61-57 win over Winston Neal's Columbia State Chargers. Tavion Comage with 21 for Columbia State. Jamar Livingston with 13 and 8 for Walters. This was a really important win for Walters State. And you can see that Columbia State really improving. Earlier in the year, Walters wins by 30 at Columbia State. Coach Neal closing the gap. Could we have round three, a potential showdown for a district title and a trip to Hutch? I think two great coaches, two really good programs. I think both underrated nationally. Two guys doing a great work. Great work.
Yeah. Columbia State definitely, figuring things out as the season went on. We talked about that in last week's show that like we did not expect another 30-point game. We figured Coach Neal would have him coached up, and sure enough, he played him tight.
In a battle on Saturday between two of the great young coaches, I think, in our game, Tallahassee gets a big 66-65 win over Gulf Coast. Trent Lincoln, the kind of all-American point guard from Gulf Coast, 15 points. They did a good job defending him. It took him 16 field goals to get his 15. Gulf Coast struggled from deep, 9 out of 33 from three. Tallahassee, always a balanced attack. Jaquan Moore off the bench was 16 and 8. They also struggled from three, 4 out of 24, only 17%. The Panhandle is just rock'em sock'em robots, four teams that are just going to battle down to the final day. But this was a good win for Tallahassee, gives them sole possession of first place as we speak.
Yeah, it's chaos in the Panhandle, and we'll probably talk about it here in the next segment about kind of where everybody is fitting in because it could turn into
We're going to go through all of the different permutations.
all of them.
Get
Get
your
your tablet.
whiteboards ready, people.
Yeah, your abacus.
Yes.
But yeah, there was a lot of paint getting knocked off the rim in that game, uh, and which was kind of weird, that both teams just couldn't throw it in the ocean from three. So Tallahassee grinding out that win there was big for them. Sole possession, and everybody's just kind of looking around at each other now like, okay, I really got to pay attention to this game over here because it's going to have this massive impact over here. It's like I talked to Coach Below the other night and he was explaining the different things and I'm like, good grief. Like this could really do something.
I need a map of the United States. I need a lot of yarn and push pins. Yeah, it is crazy
Or
all
Red
the
Bull.
different scenarios that exist. Monday night, I mean, what a terrific night of whackjack basketball. We're going to talk about two games that were decided by 2 points total. Midland with an amazing come from behind victory. They win 69-68 over New Mexico. I believe with a minute 26 to go, Midland's down 67-61. And Coach Isaac just says, you know what, we're going to full court press, we're going to trap, we're going to cause chaos. And they got some turnovers, some missed free throws. Darius Carr makes this amazing driving attempt to the basket, gets this amazing field goal. And in the end, Midland 69, New Mexico 68. Great win for the Chaparrals. And then Howard holds off Odessa 82-81. Regis with 24, Jaden Reynolds with 23, Amir Carson with 15 for Odessa. Pretty high offensive output. But the difference in the game, Howard out rebounded Odessa by 17, 39-22. Uh, for Howard Hawks in double figures, our guy Terry Copeland with 19, Dace Pleasant with 17 and 11, and sharpshooter Brandon Ivory 14 on 3 out of 4 threes. Two amazing games in the Whack Jack. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, Howard's just got a lot of size and length. But it's, Terry is that bulldog, kind of JUCO style big man that gets things done. But at the rest of the positions, they just got a lot of guys that fly around and get rebounds, high energy. And so, when you go against a team that's got that kind of size, you got to find ways to make up for it. And, Howard just held serve there at home and the rebounding was really the big key there. And they didn't even have, Oscar Wickstrom was out with a concussion right now, just like just another piece that adds more rebounds and defensive toughness and size and length and all that. And it's just like, my goodness, they walk out there and they look like the Knicks.
Some big boys. We need to get Oscar maybe a thicker headband as he returns from his concussion.
Mhm.
A little bit more stability. All right, let's transition to the rundown. Man, we got a great slate. Wednesday night, we have Tallahassee, Chipola, Collin, and McLennan, who are the top two teams in the North Texas region, and Northwest Florida at Gulf Coast. What gets you the most excited about Wednesday night?
Handle time, baby. Like this is,
All right.
and again, you're gonna have to explain the permutations because as Lane was explaining them to me, all I could think was Nick will be able to understand this better than I do.
We're not going to get into all the depth of it, but at a high level, as we sit here today, we know nothing. Essentially, there could be an outright winner. We could have as many as 4 teams tie for first place. So the key to remember here, 12 games in the Panhandle. You just get 12. Tallahassee in the lead at 7-4. Northwest Florida and Chipola also have 4 losses. They are 6-4. Gulf Coast is 5-5. So all 4 teams have a path to a title. What makes this the most interesting is the fact that only 3 of these top 10 teams can go to the 8-team state tournament for a bid to the national tournament. Who knows? Who knows? Could Gulf Coast get left out of the state tournament and get an at-large to the national tournament?
There
I don't
seems
know. I don't know.
this is gearing itself up to be a litmus test on the design of the system.
And then I think there will be people sitting in a room that said, "Why did we agree to do this? Why did we take the
Uh-oh.
cap off on the region?" And I don't know how people got into a room and decided that we would have 3 Panhandle teams go to a state tournament and have 5 Citrus teams go to a state tournament. For the life of me, I could not explain that. Why don't we just find a way to take the best 8 and call it a day? Um, Fascinating. On Thursday, Brandon, Utah State Eastern versus CSI, which I think is kind of like a little sneaky. Is it a trip up game for the Golden Eagles? Because Saturday, that is snow CSI for the whole enchilada. So Thursday could be upset alert. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you get these cliche things where it's like, oh man, they were looking ahead, they whatever. And it doesn't matter who you are, you just kind of almost can't stop it. It creeps into people's heads. I would not want to be looking past a Bill Evans coached Utah State Eastern team. Um, that absolutely has to be on front of mind, and you worry about snow later, because Utah State Eastern can jump up and get you.
Human nature, though, man. If you're not locked into Utah State Eastern, it's gonna be a long night.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Um, all right, Brandon, Saturday. What a great day of basketball we have. It's going to be the final day of Panhandle action. Gulf Coast, Pensacola, Chipola, Northwest Florida, Snow CSI, We don't talk about Region 1 enough. We get Eastern Arizona at Arizona Western. Lee Patterson, voice of the Gila Monsters, friend of the program, want to give our best wishes to him after his father passed. But great day of basketball on Saturday. What excites you the most there, Brandon?
Well, some of this is a little dependent on what happens earlier in the week, right? If Gulf Coast gets a win at home against Northwest Florida on Wednesday, Saturday becomes real darn important in that road game. And then, of course, Chipola and Northwest. It's just like blah. There's so many different
And
ways
then
that.
Tallahassee just gets to hang out. They
Yeah,
don't they don't play, right? So they're like, we good.
yeah. Corey's going to be just sitting there with a couple screens up and probably a big old thing of popcorn, and yeah, it's not Eastern Arizona and Arizona Western is maybe not a game that's going to catch the excitement of the national consciousness like the Panhandle and the
But if you
Whackjack.
need a little late night JUCO hoops, maybe some crispers and some late night basketball, cozy on in. It's going to be a nice nightcap.
Yeah, but those both of those teams have a lot of talent, and they have a puncher's chance on any night in that Region 1, Region 18 matchup. So obviously neither team is going to be an at-large bid. So this is, hey, we're fighting in the conference here, and we got to just get ready for
They're
whichever
building, right? They're
team
building
is.
for the moment that could
Yeah,
be face one of the titans
playing your
of
best
JUCO.
basketball. So, take that talent and see what you got. Because if you go up against a Snow, a CSI, somebody like that to the trip to Hutch, like they have the talent to compete in that game. So
Absolutely. That concludes the rundown. After this commercial break, stay with us. We're going to have Coach Eric Nitsche from the Butler Grizzlies in the spotlight.
Good morning.
Why so serious? Great shot.
Carver's 250. He got it.
Greenside bunker, land short.
Trust your line. There's plenty of green.
Breaks towards the water.
Lots of coaching today, huh?
We're one up.
When you strive to be the best, you need the right insights. Zurich has insurance solutions and risk strategies to help prepare your business for tomorrow.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Juco Jam. We are so excited to be joined by a friend of the program, Coach Eric Nitsche at Butler. The Grizzlies are hot. Coach, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a huge pleasure, and it goes without saying what you all do for our great sport at our level is huge for us JUCO Johnnies.
How could we not? It's the greatest. It's the greatest sport in all the land. There's no better basketball than in JUCO. There's just something special and magical about it. And speaking of magical, the Butler Grizzlies, back where they belong, first place in the Jayhawk. You're ranked 19th in the country. You're 19-8. You guys have had a really good year. We think about where you're at. I mean, I know how much you love the Jayhawk Conference, top to bottom. It's a dogfight every night. What are you enjoying the most about this Grizzly basketball team this season?
Oh, I mean, that's what everybody says, coach speak. But these young men and my staff are a absolute joy to be around. You guys know this. You've been around plenty long enough. I mean, the trust that's there with your staff is integral, I think, in any success in this world we live in. So I have two guys that I can trust with anything, and then obviously to the players. I mean, these guys are extremely bought in. They're guys that we have over to the house all the time that I trust around my own three boys. So that's it's a joy to go to. I mean, they call it work, but man, we get to coach basketball and be around these guys every day and watch them grow. And I think that's a huge part of our success thus far as we look to finish strong. I mean, we have talent. Our talent is definitely there, but I think a big reason why we stand where we stand right now is because of their connectivity.
I love getting inside coaches' minds a little bit. And one of the things that I find so fascinating is how different programs go about attacking the non-conference schedule. So Kansas is a little bit different for those who may not follow along as closely as we do. You got 24 conference games. You have to go out and schedule 6 additional games. You went out, scheduled 6 Division I games. We got Ranger, Howard, NEO, Western Nebraska, West Plains twice, going and playing Ranger on the road. And correct me if I'm wrong here, there's not a lot of home games on this non-conference slate. But what was your thought process as you went together and put this non-conference slate in place?
Man, I just think us Jayhawkers, we do our 24 game gauntlet. I love that. We'll see what's coming in the future on that. I think in recruiting, you got to hold by your word, and not that the kids really delve into it too much, but at the end of the day, that 24 game schedule is outside of your control, where those 6 that you do have is inside of your control as a coach, and we say we truly play the best, and that's what I try to do. I mean, we try to take a trip here. Last year we went to Indian Hills. We'll continue to do that stuff. And you guys know me, and you guys been in it plenty long enough. I mean, I I don't want to say this as boastful, but solely in it for these young men. I mean, the last thing I'm worried about is what my resume says. As long as I was an assistant, I mean, I'm truly not chasing wins. And wherever the season ends, I think playing the very best you can possibly play, whether you have by wins loss standpoint, bad season, average season, or good season, that's only going to prepare you as much as you can for postseason play. So I think you're doing the kids a disservice if you're at a spot like Butler where you can get to some things and play the best competition you can play. I think you're doing a disservice playing programs that maybe have significant less scholarship or whatever it may be.
You've been fortunate to be a part of some great junior college basketball teams, right? You were on the bench as an assistant coach on the Cali team that was within a whisker of winning a national championship. What would it mean for you to get back to the national tournament in only year 2 as a head coach for you personally, but to bring the Butler program back to the national tournament?
Yeah, I mean that individually going to that from a very young age, just the history involved in that would be really cool. More than anything for these guys currently, and the guys that were here last year, and Nick and Brandon both. I mean, we've talked in the past. I mean, Butler does have a great tradition. Shortly after I was born, I mean, we have a locker room full of, I mean, national player of the year, not just Jayhawks, that Butler was at one point back-to-back years a player 2 away from winning a national title. So
I was there both years.
Yes, I remember.
I was the first time I went to Hutch. I saw the Butler Grizzlies in the Final Four.
Yep. Yeah, with Coach Smithson there. I think it was 92, 93, I believe. But yeah, that there is definite tradition here. They've obviously had a dominant run in football. But yeah, it would. I just want it so bad for these young men. I mean, because you only know what you know. You two are well aware, and when you've been there, man, it's just a really cool platform for these young men. And at the end of the day, that's what we're here for. And you can say all those things, but unless you truly experience it, it doesn't really do it justice.
So one of the cool things about watching your games is just the way that you play, right? It's up pace, it's fast tempo, you press, you trap. And I think that's probably in your basketball DNA at this point. Yeah. Have you ever thought, you know what? We're gonna tune it back. We're just gonna drop back. We're gonna play a little 1-3-1. we're just going
Yeah.
to play a little half court man. Like, is that something that's ever crossed your mind? Or are we so committed to the full court press trap that like it's ride or die no matter what?
I'd be mistaken. A year ago from now, over a year ago from now, we got the job pretty late, and we took the very best we could, and a huge integral part of that was a Meko Purim, a 7-footer. We didn't we. I wanted to press last year. I was a rookie, stubborn coach, probably for 10 or 15 games, and we didn't really press last year. I mean, we picked up so that individually, selfishly, that was probably the best thing that could ever happen to me, because you think you know what you want to do, but then the young men we had here maybe didn't necessarily fit that all the way, and that group, man, they're super special to my heart, being the first group, and there's 4 of these young men on our team right now that fit pressing a little more than maybe as a nucleus that group did last year. That's going on a little bit of a tangent, Nick, but I'm probably not going away from it anytime soon. Then
I don't think it's in his DNA.
yeah, and not to get on that track too much, but man, you look up and look what. Even at different levels, in Nova Southeastern, look what Bucky's doing at Texas A&M. I mean, just a month ago in year one, I mean, they were at the top of the SEC, and it just and so we'll see where the road takes us. But more than anything, I just try to get guys that can play as hard as they can and play together, and I think that's a really cool way to play, and it really exposes what they can and can't do at times. Because you give them a lot of freedom by how hard you play on the defensive end.
I mean, it's certainly fun to watch, and you can tell that your kids seem to be having fun out there just by their body language and how they act. I've watched most of your games this year. One of the things as a fan, I'm going to put my fan hat on as a moment. There are so many fouls in your games, like an irrational amount of fouls, so many free throws. To some extent, though, as a team that presses and plays with the intensity that you do, is that almost a benefit to you to let your guys kind of catch their breath? I mean, I'm sure you're not saying like, hey, if we have a goal, we want to commit 35 fouls today, but is there a little bit of a benefit to it that, all right, everybody gets to catch their breath for a second and we can go back out and trap again?
That's a new one there.
I'll say there's some strategy.
I didn't know how next
But
level
they write
we
that
were
one
going,
down.
like down the rabbit hole.
Yeah,
We foul to catch our breath.
Yeah, no, that's a really good one. That's one I have not been asked. In short, absolutely not. We actually want the opposite. When we were doing that in Cali, and I think back in the day, you think of Coach Richardson at Arkansas. Man, they've really added on these media timeouts, and we're not huge fans of them. I mean, we obviously love the media, but when we started doing this just 6-7 years ago, in our conference there was one media timeout, and it was under 10 minutes. Now we're just the same as Division I, where they like the national tournament. But yeah, we
or does it work against you? Are your guys in such good shape that all the media timeouts, all the stoppages of play, like you'd be better with the fewer breaks as possible just to keep those heart rates up? While they're in zone 5 cardio, you guys are just kind of chilling, maybe entering some zone 2.
Correct. Yeah, and that's not a big secret. But yeah, the foul deal has really fluctuated, where we do get the 3 ball up, but this team definitely, there's been a few exceptions game wise where the foul stuff got out of hand on, and that is what it is. That the hardest deal in the business is to be a ref, and I understand that. But this team has a really unique way of also getting downhill, so it really puts the pressure, I think, on the officials on some nights if. But that's across the board. It's hard, and we try to correct things. We say,
I'm not trying to get you suspended by the league here or anything.
Yeah,
but I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, no, that's one I'll have to keep note of that, Nick. I'll have to keep that in the pocket if we need a little breather.
All right. Give me give me a guy on your team, maybe a sleeper that you guys get to the national tournament, and he's going to be like the belle of the ball. Division 1 coaches are going to fall in love with him. They're going to be checking the roster. Who's this guy? Who's a guy on your squad that you think could really substantially increase his stock?
Yeah, first I got to go with I got a couple forward returners. One in which that was at Brandon's deal last summer. Devin Kerr and then AJ Pierre Jerome are two guys that are because there's guys that I know they're plenty aware of our freshmen that are putting up the numbers, but those returners that have really held us down and been glue. I mean, you guys both know that. And in this crazy world we live in, I mean, man, returners that you can really go hook it up with every single day that you trust that have been through it with you. I mean, those are two that I'd say are a little sleeperish. Devin, not so much as AJ. I mean, Devin is a 12-7 guy, and I know I mentioned a few, but then our third returner that is an integral piece is Josiah Kirkwood. He's our little point guard that brings it every single day. I mean, those three and they're man, they're just so close to my heart as well. Being through this and coming back with me, changing really everything that we did from last year to this year. Those are three guys that are definite sleepers in my mind because there's a few of these freshmen that I think people are pretty aware of.
All right. I feel like you're pretty warmed up now. I've asked you a lot of the softball questions, but now I'm going to toss it over to the closer, the Bobby Thigpen of our organization. Brandon, bring us home.
All I can picture now is Coach on the sideline seeing that some of his guys are getting a little gas and just pulling someone. Go hit that guy. We need a breather.
I mean,
go hit that guy.
I mean, go for the steal. But if we get wrist, we get wrist. You know what I mean? I need a quick 20,
You guys are gonna have like hand signals now. There's gonna be like code words.
Yeah.
Code words for foul for a breather.
That's Juco Jam. Code word Juco Jam.
Code word jam. Oh my goodness. Well, Coach, I get to ask the really, really hard question, the ones that get people nervous when they're, doing these kinds of things. So let's just close our eyes, imagine, a big win. Big win for the Grizz, right? And you say, you know what? The boys deserve something special. We're going to go to Chili's tonight for dinner. What are you eating at Chili's?
I'm starting us off with the chips and queso with a little side of salsa.
Mm-hmm.
I think they got some of the best chips and salsa that's severely underrated compared to even a lot of Mexican restaurants, around here, which we have a lot of those. And then we're going probably right into the kind of an appetizer guy, into the Southwest egg rolls and some chicken crispers.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's well played.
Yeah.
Do you have a guy on your team that you feel would be most likely to take down the most honey chipotle chicken crispers? Do you have a go-to there?
Yeah, that would be I'd have to give that to Devin Kerr.
Yeah.
He's just a
I love that. That's why he's a sleeper. He can make some things happen. Maybe he gets a Chili's NIL deal.
Yeah, just a ball chasing, warrior guy you want on your team. He's been banged up. A lot of our guys have. We're just trying to keep this thing moving.
Welcome to the Jayhawk, man.
No doubt. No doubt.
Grind. Well, Coach, we appreciate you coming on. We look forward to watching you finish out the season strong here, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you soon. When we come back, we're going to get into the grind.
For the last 87 years, the NJCAA has provided academic and athletic opportunities to thousands of student athletes. However, several rules make it more challenging for two-year college transfers. Recently, 16 national coaches associations, led by the National Fast Pitch Coaches Association, sent a request for change to NCAA leadership to make the rules the same for all transfers. We commend their leadership and stand together in support of same game, same rules.
As the second largest intercollegiate athletic association in the country, the NJCAA serves not only a pivotal role in college athletics, but in higher education. The NJCAA Foundation aims to move the association forward through resources, grant programs, and other special initiatives. Your gift to the NJCAA Foundation will make a difference and create opportunities.
Welcome back to Juco Jam. We're going to talk about one of the most exciting players we've seen in Juco basketball. We call this section the grind. TJ Coulter from Laramie, 6'4" guard from Sparks, Nevada, putting up amazing stats, Brandon. Eye-popping. 27.7 points per game, 37% three-point shooter, 5.2 boards, 3 assists. All of his numbers are better across the board than they were last year. But what's got me concerned, I want you to address it. His free throw shooting has dropped precipitously. He's gone from 86 to 75. I love the numbers. He's averaging 27.7, and he's leaving points on the board like that with the free throws. So what do we got going on here? Give me the inside scoop.
He probably needs a pep talk from you. You know, he's maybe not understanding the sheer importance of, if he was shooting 86% from the free throw line this year, he's probably averaging 31 points a game. So, you know,
and he is on the precipice of maybe an invite to the Juco Jam National Free Throw Competition.
Look, we can talk about it.
We'll talk about it. But in all seriousness, I mean, he's had an amazing career, you know, at Laramie. And maybe this is the year Laramie gets to the national tournament. I think that region is wide open. If he got there, I think his recruiting, will pop. But just for the people who haven't seen him, what kind of player is TJ?
You know, the best comparison I can give for somebody that we know is a 6'4" version of Jason Edwards. Like, it's just, which way do I need to go to get a bucket? Now, TJ is, you know, not a selfish player at all. He's an incredible teammate. And what was interesting the other night is he'll just go to what is given to him. Like, he can take and make tough shots too, but he had 30 points the other night against Gillette. He didn't take any threes. He went 12 of 20 or something from 2, and then went to the line a bunch. And it was just like, huh? You know, that
reminds me of Jeremy Lin.
Ooh, I like that.
I mean, that's a little, you know, I like to go a little older with my references, but that was kind of the first one that popped that I thought of.
There you go.
Because he's not a volume 3-point guy.
No. And he
is he getting interest from Division I programs yet, Brandon? Like, what does that look like for him?
Yeah, Duquesne and Colorado were in to see him on Thursday last week. So, and both came away after his 37-point output going, oh my. So, yeah, he's starting to pick up.
That's awesome. All right, we're going to transition to the show. We're going to talk about a former JUCO player doing great things at the NCAA Division I level. Coach Hayden Sowers, point guard from a year ago, Mr. Caleb Blackwell. He's currently at UTEP, was at South Plains. 10.6 points a game, 38% from 3. But recently, Brandon, his last 6 games, all in double figures, averaging 16.2 a game. He's really coming along as the season's gone on.
That tends to happen with good JUCO players, even if, you know, in the fall, it's a little bit of a, you know, get the engine going. It's a big change. You know, it's just different, right? The expectations are different. And sometimes it can take guys a semester to figure that out. And it took Caleb just a minute, and now he's rolling.
Love it. Guys, stay with us after this commercial break. We're going to have our closing thoughts. We call it the sixth man.
Good morning.
Why so serious? Great shot.
Cover's 250. You got it.
Green side bunker, land short.
Trust your line. There's plenty of green.
Breaks towards the water.
Lots of coaching today, huh?
We're one up.
When you strive to be the best, you need the right insights. Zurich has insurance solutions and risk strategies to help prepare your business for tomorrow.
Welcome back to JUCO Jam. This is the sixth man. Brandon, something that I know we both wanted to talk about, the NJCAA just announced the newest members to their Hall of Fame, 5 new inductees, which is super exciting. One of my first junior college memories is seeing Dante Jones playing in person in the sports arena, who was absolutely like breathtaking. He averaged close to 29 points a game for Northeast Mississippi and was just incredible. And I think when I saw him play, it was in the consolation round of Hutch, but he was playing it just with the same energy and effort that you would have expected in a national championship game. And then, of course, he goes on to great success with Mississippi State, takes them to a Final Four, great career in the NBA. So I think it's pretty cool that the NJCAA is kind of recognizing more people who've had such an impact on the game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's an incredible class. Seeing Clay Anthony early in there is pretty cool. His story going from a Division III JUCO to the NBA, was a monster at Wichita State. But I'm really super happy to see Steve Forbes in there. When I was first getting into the business, I had gone down to Otero for the Region 9 tournament and found myself sitting between Jim Molinari and Steve Forbes, and just the nicest guys in the world. Steve, like the most down-to-earth dude ever. Like, he's the most JUCO guy, like just salt of the earth. Like, yeah, you want to go, have a beer and barbecue with him or something, and just sat there for hours. And Steve and Jim telling stories, and me sitting in the middle, like, not having really any idea what's going on at this point. And it was just super cool. And the fact that Steve took time to even talk to somebody like me, I was fresh on the scene, if you will, trying to figure out how this whole thing works. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see him in the Hall of Fame there.
It's an exciting class, and it just highlights, so many great people that touch junior college basketball and go on and do great things beyond junior college basketball. Brandon, another great show. Thank you as always. I hope everybody has a chance to watch some of the great games that we've highlighted this week. And until next time, I hope everybody has a great sports week.